viewers, welcome to today's class. So today I'll be showing us how to make the turban cap that you saw on the screen. So right now I've already gone ahead to cut out the fabric, the measurements. So I'll be stating the measurements now. So these are the materials we'll be needing. I have this raw silk fabric. I have my pins, my measurement tape. So I'm working with this crinoline. This 3 inches thick crinoline, and I'll also be working with this. Alright? So without wasting time, let's go ahead now. So I have this fabric here. It measures 12 inches for the width. Okay? 12 inches. As you can see, 12 inches for the width, and the length is 16 inches. So this is for the design that will be on top, the rosette design that is on top of the turban cap. Okay, so I have this 6 inches for the width, 6 inches for the width. Okay, as you can see, and by the length 35 inches. Okay, I may exhaust or I may not, depending how many bold I want to make out of it. Then for the turban cap, I have this fabric here. Please remember to cut your material from your hair circumference from the stretchy part. As you can see, this is my hair circumference. So, and the measurement I have there is 28 inches, 28 inches for the length. Okay, 29. It's 29 inches by 29. Okay, the reason why I cut it like this, I'm making a round band turban, so I wouldn't want to cut the band separate and start pleating. So that's why you see it like this. So I'm going to be making up to 4 pleats here. Okay, then the remaining parts now will not serve as the body of the turban cap. So to do that, to make your pleat, first of all, you wouldn't want this edge to show. Okay, if you can fold it in like this, did you hear what I said? Fold it in like this. Then you go ahead, take it to your sewing machine, and you top stitch. Okay, this now will serve as our first pleat. But if you have your weaving machine, you can go ahead and weave the edge. Okay, so to make your pleat, let's assume you've already folded this part now. For the sake of the beginners here, you've already folded this piece. So here now is our first pleat. So to make your second pleat, so make sure that the second pleat covers the thread that I'll be showing here. Make sure that this second pleat now you're making will cover this thread now. Okay, so you just make your pleat. Let it not be too small. Okay, like 1 inch is okay. So if you're a beginner, I would advise you use your pin and pin it down. Then you take it over to your sewing machine and you stitch. You go again, make another pleat. So it all depends on how many pleats that you want to achieve. Alright, once you pleat, hold it down with your pin, then you stitch. So after that, I'll come back. I'll just take it now to my sewing machine. I will do exactly what I explained here. Then I'll come back to show you the next thing to do. I'm done making my pleats. Okay, this is I was able to make 1, 2, 3, 4 pleats. Okay, so after making my pleats, so I now check the remaining fabric that I have. So I was having about 13 inches. Okay, so please make sure you don't go the rest of the fabric, you don't have less than 13 inches. Okay, 13, 14, 15 inches is okay. All right, so So right now, I'll just go ahead and close the cap the normal way we close our turban cap. First of all, get your head circumference. So I'll be closing this cap now with the head circumference of 10.5. Okay, so I'm going to stitch down like this from here, then I make a slant curve in order to just give it a backdrop, okay, but not much. All right, so but before then, let me set this aside while we move over to the design. So coming over to the fabric for the design, this is what I have. This is for the bow. So I'm going to fold it into two like this, and I'll stitch it down from one end to the other. So the same thing applicable for the one that we're going to use for our rose design. Fold it into two, then stitch it down, then turn it to the right side. So I'm going to do this now, so I'll come back to show us the next thing to do. So I'll be marking out my hair circumference. As I said, I'm using 10.5 for the hair circumference. So I'll mark it. So coming over here, so we're going to make our curve. I'll come in like 3 inches. So I'm going to make a slant curve. So please, this curve is optional. You can decide to leave it like this and go ahead to close all through. Okay, it's not a must. So I'm going to just curve it out. See how I was able to mark my chalk. So I'm going to sew it down like this. I'm going to follow this line now. So I'll stitch. Alright, you can see how I made the mark. So I'm going to close it up, then we'll move over to the design. After closing, make sure you weave it, okay? Take it to the weaving machine and weave it for it to be very neat. Alright? Done sewing the fabric for the design, okay, and I've gone ahead to turn it to the right side. So what I will do now is to pass my crinoline. The big crinoline will go inside the big fabric. So I'll just go ahead and pass it in, then I'll show you what next to do. So after putting the crinoline, so what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to top stitch in order to help me hold the crinoline in place. Okay, please, the sewn side, the place I stitch down is by the side, so please take note. So I'm going to be stitching it down like this. Give a little bit of allowance. So go ahead to stop stitch. So I'll just go ahead now to adjust it, okay, to make sure that I adjust it very well. Then I'll show you how it looks like.